Welcome back to the State Farm Champions Classic. Time now for Game 2, the nightcap. Number 9 Duke and number 3 Kentucky. Tonight's game a part of ESPN's Journey to the Tourney, a season-long spotlight on games that will impact the tournament. And speaking of which, the Final Four is going to be held right here in this building. Will one of these programs, either Mike Krzyzewski's Blue Devils or John Calipari's Wildcats, be here tonight? All we can tell you for sure, this is the first time in 11 years Duke has met Kentucky, and that means this guy's excited.
I'm really excited. I can tell you that right now. You talk about elite, you talk about Goliaths, this crowd is going to be rocking. The jerseys say it all. Duke and Kentucky. It doesn't get better than that, baby.
Time now for the starting lineups tonight. Let's send it to the PA announcer, Jason Lochran.
And now, let's meet our starting lineups. First, for the Duke Blue Devils. At guard, a 6'1" junior from Washington, D.C., number 3, Tyler Thornton. At guard, a 6'2" senior from Charlotte, North Carolina, number 30, Seth Curry. At guard, a 6'4" freshman from Houston, Texas, number 14, Rashid Suleiman. At forward, a 6'11" senior from Raleigh, North Carolina, number 34, Ryan Kelly. At forward, a 6'10" senior from Warsaw, Indiana, number 5, Mason Plumlee. The Blue Devils are coached by Mike Krzyzewski. And now, let's meet the starting lineup for the Kentucky Wildcats. At guard, a 6'2" grad student from Marion, Indiana, number 34, Julius Mays. At guard, a 6'4" freshman from Little Rock, Arkansas, number 10, Archie Goodwin. At forward, a 6'7" freshman from Clarksville, Tennessee, number 22, Alex Poitras.
Thank you.
At forward, a 6'1" sophomore from Portland, Oregon, number 33, Kyle Wiltshire. And at center, a 6'10" freshman from Everett, Massachusetts, number 3, Nerlens Noel. The Wildcats are coached by John Calipari.
A big crowd here in Atlanta to see the Kentucky Wildcats take on the Duke Blue Devils. You just saw the starting lineups. One name that you did not hear is the name of the starting point guard for Kentucky, Ryan Harrow. He is not with the team, will not play tonight. For the details, here's Andy Katz.
Well, he's been bothered by flu-like symptoms actually from before they played Maryland. He played limited minutes in that game against Maryland. He practiced the day before. But they're very concerned right now. He's got fatigue, and they're running a lot of tests back in Lexington to see really what has been bothering Ryan Harrow. And remember, guys, he's the one player on this Kentucky team that is familiar with Duke. He went against Duke when he played for NC State 2 years ago.
Yeah, if you thought Kentucky's team was young last year, wait till you see how young they are this year. Dickie V, what's captivating you in the one-on-one segment?
Well, I think when you talk one-on-one, you go inside to the interior, and it starts when you do. You got the veteran, you got the senior, you got Mr. Plumlee. I'll tell you one thing, that is certainly big. There he is on the defensive end. We're going to watch him here defensively, challenging the shot, blocking it. And now we're going to watch him offensively where he is in the lane. He is so effective down in the lane. He can pass, and he can score in that low post. There he is with the kick out. And now he's going to stay with it. Gets the ball, offensive rebound. And now on the other side, you got the diaper dandy. You got Mr. Noel. Mr. Noel's going to have to really be aggressive inside. Danny has a tendency to block every shot, and he gets out of position, and Maryland took advantage of it. And he's got to be a little bit more aggressive offensively. Here he is right now. They're going to throw the lob up on top, and there's the jam. But they got to do that more often.
Unfortunately for Noel, one of the first things people do is compare him to Anthony Davis. That's an unfair comparison.
Yeah, really is. Anthony Davis was a different player, Dan. He was a guy that had perimeter skills. Noel is a player that has played in the interior his entire career. And I think there's one other major factor people better get a grip on. and be patient with this Kentucky team. Last year they had 3 pros coming back. And you look at the officials right here. They had guys like Terrence Jones and Darius Miller and Lamb. Those guys made it a little bit easier for the diaper dandies.
The most experienced Kentucky player, returning player, is Kyle Wilcher, who was the 7th man of the rotation last year. Inside look for Plumlee. He is swarmed. Kelly with a shot fake in the kick. Wide open. Suleiman, the freshman, misses the 3, gets it back. And a fresh 35 for the Blue Devils.
Hey, Suleiman's going to be a very good player for Duke. He's a combo guard, very athletic. He plays on the defensive side as well.
Tyler Thornton, Seth Curry out of the backcourt as well. Noel diving to the floor. It is Duke ball with 21 to shoot.
Duke
and
basketball.
We can definitely hear, yeah, there are a lot of Duke fans here, but boy, does it sound like there are more Kentucky fans, and you've been doing games for so long. I don't know that any program travels more than Kentucky.
Well, I agree with you. They got the most passionate fans in the business. They're very loyal. They love their Cats.
Curry off to Suleiman. Rashid Suleiman, beautiful look to Mason Plumlee.
There's his versatility right there. He drives, he draws, and he drops the dish off right there to Plumlee on the interior.
Both of these teams are 1-0. Maryland, Kentucky defeating Maryland in a game you did 72-69 Friday. Plumlee got a piece of it. Down to Wilcher. Kentucky is also 1-0. They defeated Georgia State by 19 on Friday. What a rebound by Goodwin. And it is out of bounds to Duke.
Tell you the kid's going to have to get on a glass for Kentucky's Poitras. They got to get him involved. He's a great athlete. You're going to watch a little dish right there, and there's the dunk by Plumlee. That was created by Suleiman. He's a very good player, very talented. From out of Houston.
Kentucky does not have a single player as Goodwin comes up with a block. And here he comes, Archie Goodwin, one of 3 freshmen in the starting lineup. And a block is the call underneath, a Duke foul. Kentucky does not have one player that started 1 game for them last year. Right now they're starting 3 freshmen, a transfer, and a Wilcher who got 12 minutes a game last year.
I'll tell you one thing, you sound just like John Calipari. I was talking to him before the game while you guys were working. He said exactly the same. And he said, and all of those guys out there like you, he said, rate us in the top 5? Give me a break.
You meaning you.
Yeah, meaning me.
And they are ranked 3rd right now. You got Indiana 1, Louisville 2. We'll see Indiana next week in Brooklyn.
He struggles on the free throw line. His technique, he's got a lot of work to do on the line. And so does Willie Cauley-Stein as well. And that could be a problem late in the game if he's on the floor.
Nerlens Noel, 6'10" freshman out of Everett, Massachusetts.
And a lane violation.
Yeah,
so
heading back to the line again.
He doesn't want to get the hat trick right here. It's like a little hockey.
That's as much hockey as we got going right now. Noel had 4 points, 9 rebounds, 3 blocks Friday against Maryland. And he makes the 3rd, so officially 1 of 2, and Kentucky on the board.
I mean, he's a great asset because in the lane, he can make life tough. He just has to know when to try to block a shot. I think Plumlee's going to go right at him. They're going to try to attack him.
Kelly on the drive. A nice array of moves. Now finds Curry in the paint. One of the things John Calipari talked about a shoot-around was don't let him shoot 3s, but don't foul him. Try to force Duke into tough contested 2s.
Well, Curry, one of the better three-point shooters in America.
Suleiman, no. Rebound. The guy you were talking about, Alex Poitras.
He's got a world of ability. I'm telling you one thing. He's just got to get that mental tenacity. A little bit of what Michael Kidd-Gilchrist brought to the team.
Boy, did he have that.
Oh, he had that toughness.
Roundup is the number 2 pick in the NBA draft. His teammate, Anthony Davis, went number 1. Poitras lost it, out of bounds to Duke.
Matchup right there. You got the senior, you got Kelly. You know, you got 3 seniors in a lineup that are talented seniors. When you talk Kelly, Curry, and certainly Plumlee, 22, 23-year-old guys, that's a big advantage. Kentucky is a team, you better beat them early. They're going to get better and better as the season progresses.
They are young, they are thin, but they are talented. Curry for 3.
He's a flat-out shooter, man, just like Daddy. He can shoot the rock. They're going to find a way to balance his time. He's had a leg problem. They don't allow him to practice extensively. They're going to manage his time.
Knocked out of bounds by Kelly. Yeah, at the walkthrough today, Curry went through some of the shooting drills, but some of the more rigorous up and down where he's going to be pounding that leg a lot on the court. He didn't. And Mike Krzyzewski says it's an injury that may not get better this year. They're just hoping it doesn't get worse, and they're hoping to get as much out of him as they can, obviously, during the game.
Well, you know, Kentucky really right now is playing without a legitimate point guard. I mean, you can say all you want about Goodwin. Goodwin is a scoring guard. He's trying to play the point. He's like a mini version, they say, of Westbrook.
Wiltshire, he can really shoot it. I mean, he can really shoot it.
He flat out, man, you give him any kind of room, and there's a chance to make a living when you can shoot the ball like he can. You got to find a way to get free for shots a little bit more.
Good matchup between him and Kelly, two big guys who are very comfortable on the perimeter.
You know, Kelly's a guy that's been, you know, big-time shooter as well. Had the foot injury surgery that missed him in the tournament last year.
Curry feeling it early. Misses that three badly. Kentucky ball. And he's going to hear it from Big Blue Nation here in Atlanta.
You know, you mentioned Duke. Take a little chip on our shoulder, Dan. Last year, the season didn't finish the way they wanted. Lost 3 of their last 4. You and I were there. They got blown out by North Carolina on their home floor. Then they lose in the ACC tournament early to Florida State, and they get beat by Lehigh.
Yeah, in the first round. Well, technically the second round, but their first game.
McCollum became a household name that day, became an All-American.
75-70 win for Lehigh, knocking out Duke. Crossover by Goodwin, left hand, and he draws the foul.
See, he's an attacker. He's a guy that's not a legitimate point guard. He's trying to help him out and playing without Harrell. Their point guard who played excellent basketball was certainly the kid Paulson. There's a change of direction, and there's that explosiveness. I can see what they talk about Westbrook and him.
What were you thinking as you were doing the Kentucky-Maryland game? And Jared Paulson came into the game, a guy who hardly played his first 2 years in the program, and without him, they don't win that game.
Well, you know what happened? I was panicking during the timeout. I'm grabbing yearbooks. I'm trying to find out about it. Because before the game, Calipari gave me 8 players. Told me all about it. He said, here's our 8. You go into Merle Turgeon, the name of Paulson was never, ever mentioned. He said he didn't even know. He turned to his assistant and said, who is this guy? And he became a legend now on the streets of Lexington, Kentucky.
Scored 10 points, including a couple of free throws to ice it in a 72-69 win for the Wildcats.
Well, Jimmy Dykes said it really well. I read a tweet. He practiced every day against real top-notch players, so that certainly helped him to get on that stage.
Our first media timeout here in Atlanta in the nightcap. Duke and Kentucky in front of a big crowd inside the Georgia Dome, meeting for the first time in more than a decade, and they are tied early here in Atlanta.
Up next for Career Day, quarterback Aaron Rodgers.
That State Farm agent said she helps people. What do you do?
I play football.
That's not a job.
Well,
Did you save my dad hundreds with the discount double check?
no, but I was MVP last year.
Mr. Hubble says trophies are for people with self-esteem issues.
Who's Mr. Hubble?
That's Rod Hubble.
No, it is not.
For savings, we're best in class.
Hey, Roger! Discount double check!
Get to a better state. State Farm.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state. And in part by Carfax. Just say, show me the Carfax. Ask your dealer or go to Carfax.com. And Infinity. Luxury cars that deliver inspired performance.
And back in Atlanta, it's time now for our State Farm State of Success as we take a look at 2 of the most successful programs in the history of college basketball. They have combined for 12 national championships. Kentucky is the all-time leader in wins. Duke is 4th. And you're talking about a Champions Classic. Duke and Kentucky certainly fitting the bill.
You know, Dan, they've only played 3 times since 1992 when Leighton made that shot. Crowd got all over him today at this rally where they presented a check for us for the V Foundation, $10,000, a job done by both Christian Laettner and Jeff Shepard, but they've only played 3 times since then. They should play regularly, just like Indiana and Kentucky. I don't buy any excuse. That game should be on. The coaches should make it happen. Players want it. Alumni want it. The fans want it.
As exciting a game as there was in college basketball last year, you and I lucky enough to be there, and that series, at least for the meantime, is over. Wiltshire with the runner doesn't get the bounce, and the rebound down to Kelly.
Hey, one thing Wiltshire's trying to learn to get off the bounce a little, create some shots, rather than be just a catch-and-shoot player.
Here's Suleiman trying to create off the bounce, hits Thornton, whips a pass to Kelly. Kelly, little step back jumper, but he's called for the offensive foul, using that arm to create a little space.
You know, he's had a heck of a career shooting the basketball, but he struggled a little bit. His last exhibition game, he was 0 for 7, and the game against Georgia State, he was 2 for 6.
Curry goes to the bench, and Alex Murphy comes into the game, redshirt freshman out of Wakefield, Rhode Island. Started both exhibition games, then didn't play at all in Duke's first game of the regular season. A guy who sat out as a redshirt last year. Between him and Emil Jefferson, who we'll see, they've got some 6'7", 6'8", more athletic wing players now than they had last year.
Yeah, they feel they're a lot deeper as a team.
Whoa.
Oh, that's big time. That's Poitras. That is big time. They talk about his strength, his power. He just has to be more assertive. John Calipari had to be happy with that. And I think he's happy a little bit with the early start in rebounding. Something they didn't do at all against Maryland.
Gave up 28 offensive rebounds. Now a turnover. Julius Mays leading the way. Transfer from out of Wright State, knocks it down.
He can shoot the ball. He's a guy that got the extra year, graduated out of Wright State.
8-0 run, Kentucky.
Ain't no doubt about it. They got talent, Dan. They got talent.
And Roger Ayers, one of the officials, blows the whistle. There's some, perhaps some perspiration or something on the floor. They want to get mopped up so that nobody slips on it.
You know, Coach Calipari made an interesting point to me before the game. He said, you know, we're not as good as we were last year. Let's face reality. I mean, we don't have that kind of talent. However, he said the nation is not as good from top to bottom. So by the end of the year, he said, I think we can play with anyone.
9-5, they're up right now in the early going. Quinn Cook now into the point, number 2 for Duke, and Willie Cauley-Stein, number 15, freshman, 7-footer into the game for Kentucky. Plumlee, Murphy, Kelly, rebound Wildcats, and whose ball is it? It's going to stay with Kentucky.
Hey, one thing, Kelly's got to make some of those threes because now you take out Curry, he becomes their three-point shooter.
Cook and Suleiman in the backcourt. Suleiman, very vocal, a freshman, defending Goodwin at the point. 2 athletic, talented players. Kelly knocks it away. Good anticipation. He's got help, but he will take it himself and draw the foul on Goodwin.
And he's an excellent free throw shooter. See, there was an example with Goodwin. Not comfortable at the point guard making a pass. John Calipari told me before the game, I told him if you have any doubt, there he is in a denial in the passing lane. He said, any doubt, drive the basketball. Don't pass it. Drive the basketball.
And again, Kentucky is without its starting point guard, Ryan Harrow, the transfer from North Carolina State. He's out with a flu-like virus that has really sapped his energy. He only played 10 minutes of the game you did Friday night in Maryland, and they didn't even bring him with. He is not here with the team, so Goodwin, a slashing 2-guard, has to play a lot of minutes at the point.
Hey, I said they played 3 times. Kentucky's.
You jinxed them twice.
And they missed the free throws as well. Unbelievable. 98, they had that big game. Tubby Smith came back and won the regional championship to go to the Final Four. Ultimately win the national title. They went down big against Duke and came back and won that game.
Cauley-Stein. He was a wide receiver in high school last year at 7 feet tall. Looks like he picked the right sport, though.
Absolutely. He's agile, he's mobile, and he's not fragile. And he's Digger Phelps' favorite player. Digger said, I love this guy. He's my Draymond Green. Come on, Digger. There he is right there.
Cauley-Stein got a lot of publicity this week. He was interviewed yesterday. Bad-looking free throw, and then he followed it in too quickly. Duke ball. Cauley-Stein was interviewed this week, so you get a look at him as a wide receiver. How do you look at the size of him? How do you cover a 7-footer? He had 16 touchdowns, including the playoffs last year. He got a lot of attention this week because he was asked about the Christian Laettner show. He'd never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
And then he made a valid point. It happened before I was born. And did that make everybody feel old? Plumlee with a nice move.
Gonna have a tough time handling Plumlee. Plumlee's so aggressive. He should have a big year. Should be right in the hunt this year for Player of the Year in the ACC.
Poitras again.
He's the kid that had to wake up. Big time talent. They rave about his ability athletically.
And Kentucky back up by 6. Josh Hairston into the game for Duke. This is the 18-footer. And Murphy runs it down, and it's off a Kentucky player. Now Poitras out of bounds to the Blue Devils as Curry and Emil Jefferson, a 6'8" freshman out of Philadelphia. They both check into the game now for Duke, and now for Kentucky. Listen to this ovation. Jared Polson, a former walk-on on scholarship this year. The guy who in the last 2 years had scored 7 points in total. Scored 10 on Friday night to lead Kentucky over the Terps.
Not only that, he really showed some great poise. Had a tremendous offensive rebound, which I thought was the changing complexion of the game. Polson really was such a major factor. Practiced every day against talent for 2 years at the point guard slot. But it's a different scenario when you're on the floor in front of a big crowd on national TV.
Well, he says he plays better when he's nervous, so he must have been nervous on Friday night.
He was real nervous. And he made Mark Turgeon nervous.
Had a huge impact on that game.
Maryland's going to be very good this year. When they're sharing games.
Alex Len, boy, did he have some nice moves in that game.
Very deep team, too. They got 10 players.
Looks like an interesting ACC. North Carolina State picked to win it preseason. Duke and Carolina obviously will be heard from. Maryland with a good team as well.
Bad day today, though, for the ACC.
Right.
Florida Gulf Coast beats Miami, and Delaware beats Virginia. And Delaware, yes, the heads go out to Madison Square Garden.
In the preseason NIT. Noel, Plumlee playing off him. Polson with 6'8" Jefferson on him. Tough matchup with all the rangy defense that Jefferson can play. Mays inside, but an offensive foul. Taking the charge is Hairston.
Got a little bit out of control. See, the one thing now, Polson's not going to sneak up on anyone because they're all going to remind him in the scouting report his game against Maryland.
Now Goodwin comes back in. Mays sits down. Goodwin goes to the 2. Polson at the point.
They just want quality minutes out of Polson. Don't turn the ball over, get us in our offensive set, and play a little defense. And he can do it because when you look at the point guards for Duke, they're not really offensive threats.
Cauley Stein commits the foul.
Kentucky foul number 15, Willie Cauley Stein, his first.
Right now they're driving the ball in. Here's Cauley Stein coming over from the help side, makes contact.
You got to like what you see in the early going from Mason Plumlee. 19 points, 14 rebounds in the first game, and very assertive offensively in the early going tonight.
Well, he willed that one in. They tell me his brother's going to be a big factor, help him off the bench. 7-footer Marshall.
Yeah. He's got a stress fracture in his foot, walking around with his foot in a boot. They're hoping to get him back at some point soon. Another big body, the youngest of the 3 Plumlee brothers, with Miles moving on to the NBA.
Told me he can't wait to play, so I can't wait to get on the floor.
Polson, and he is called for the offensive foul.
Duke does a great job rotating over, stepping into the driving lanes. That's something they've done over the years. And watch this right here. He is driving. He's up in the air, makes contact.
Curry stepping in to take the charge.
See, whether Cook or Thornton play the point guard slot, neither one is a real threat, even though Thornton made the shot of his career against Kansas last year.
And Mike Krzyzewski saying that actually he doesn't even really consider Thornton a point guard. Curry, Suleiman, a lot of different guys can handle the point. Timeout on the floor with Kentucky up by 4.
Take a look right now. King Alex. We're going to watch him down in the post. This diaper dandy, baby. Up he goes. What a great play down in the post. And here he is now. Great athleticism. Look at the balance, the agility.
Time 95-2. Jay Williams, then known as Jason Williams, scored 38 points in the win. A game that you did in the Jimmy V. And just, more evidence of why you just love to see 2 programs like this meet on the basketball.
I'll tell you one thing, that game I remember, he knocked down 7 threes. He had 25 points in the last 11 minutes. They were down big, and I remember Mike Krzyzewski took out his whole starting 5, put him on a bench, and it finally came back out, and Jason just flat out carried him in his home state because he played high school at St. Joe's in Metuchen. So he was on cloud 9. Probably had a lot of tickets there, too.
Chance to spend some time with Jay Will over in Germany. He was part of the crew of the game between Michigan State and Connecticut. Noel on the inside on the feed from Wilcher.
Nice little pass by Wilcher. Good interior pass. They got to get more touches for Noel. I keep hearing about his limitations offensively, but he has enough in his game with the left and right hand to get him the ball down in the post.
Considered further along defensively, a very good shot blocker. Cook cradles it as he drives and draws the foul.
I thought Wilcher made a great pass on the inside. There he is now going to go. You think he's going to shoot the hook shot, but he finds his teammate, and then there's the quickness. He had a good first step right there, Noel. I think he needs more touches. Get him a little confidence. You got to get this guy involved offensively.
Meanwhile, Polson called for the foul. His second as Cook misses a free throw. Suleiman back in for Jefferson. Mays back in for Poitras.
Don't tell the Kentucky people. I don't think they can hear me in Lexington right now, can they?
Not at all.
4-1 is the record of Coach K against the Cats.
Against the Cats.
Yeah, 4-1.
Yep. Another missed free throw. Hairston with a rebound.
Trying to spread the court.
Cook looking inside for Hairston, and it'll be out of bounds to Kentucky.
You know, tough to get a rhythm right now. You would think that edge would go to Duke because of the familiarity and the veterans they have. That certainly, you would think, be a problem for Kentucky. These kids haven't played together a whole lot.
Only 9 points in 90 minutes for Duke, and only 2 players have scored. Mason Plumlee and Seth Curry.
2 seniors.
Kelly yet to get on the score sheet, trying to stay with the Wilcher.
Trying to get a little isolation, a little one-on-one right here.
What an interesting matchup between 2 guys with a lot of similarities in their game, and Kelly wins that battle decisively.
Tell you one thing, Kelly's right up there on the charts and block shots on Duke.
What a runner, too, by Kelly at the other end to snap the drought.
Well, he deserved that really there. He made the defensive play, came back, had a conversion. Hey, congratulations, Tom Izzo getting that win tonight. Man, they stole that baby.
Big comeback in the last few minutes against Kansas. Goodwin with a wild shot. Not a good look at all.
Well, that's the thing with him. You're going to see some bad shots out of the kid.
Open is Curry.
Oh, count it. Count it, my friend. Count it. If he squares the body and gets the look at the goal, that baby's going down.
And John Calipari in the face of Archie Goodwin for the shot at one end and not being on Curry at the other time. Big Ten versus SEC tomorrow night on ESPN2 at 7 Eastern. The Wisconsin Badgers taking on the Florida Gators. Also live on Watch ESPN. ESPN, the home court of college hoops. Another good early season matchup.
Well, those are 2 really solid basketball teams. You know, you talk the Big Ten, and on paper, certainly right now looks like the best conference in America. But nobody talks about Wisconsin. Everybody up there talks certainly Ohio State, who I think defensively has the best backcourt tandem in America with Kraft and Lenzo Smith.
And a foul on Duke. Wisconsin gets overlooked year after year.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think Bo Ryan almost likes it that way. They can play with a chip on their shoulder, sneak up on some people.
Tell you what, in the Big Ten, keep an eye on Tubby Smith and Minnesota. And Bakwe, Williams, they got themselves a nice basketball team.
Ryan Kelly just picked up his second foul. He and Mason Plumlee each with 2 fouls. Plumlee on the bench right now. Kelly stays in the game.
How to make free throws, man. Got to make free throws. I'm going to tell you something. Look at the body of Poitras. It's unbelievable, that body of his. What a physical specimen. Can you imagine he played in high school last year?
Kelly out, Plumlee back in. The teams have combined to miss 4 of their 6 free throw attempts so far tonight.
I think this kid's heading to be a star.
Poitras?
I really do. I think a big-time star.
Suleiman using the screen. Long jumper, no. Curry out of his area for the offensive rebound. And John Calipari's livid with Goodwin again. Rebounding a problem for the Cats. Plumlee can't finish. Noel hits the deck. Ball still loose. And here come the Wildcats.
Now here's where he's at his best usually, in the open court.
Plumlee couldn't get it. Goodwin knocks down the 3.
That's a big-time 3 for him because normally he's not a good shooter. He is just starting to get into the field of shooting. He dominated so much in high school with his drive to the goal.
What a wild sequence in Goodwin. Good, bad, and ugly in the middle of all of it over the last couple of minutes.
Let me tell you this.
Ooh, Poitras got knocked flat by Mason Plumlee. Jefferson, no. Curry for three.
Does he have a stroke? Does he have a stroke?
Runs in the family.
Unbelievable.
Seth Curry.
There's only certain kids that you feel when they shoot the basketball, it's got a great chance to go down. Gonzaga's got two guards that can flat out shoot it. Pangos and Bell.
Third three of the game for Seth Curry. Let's look inside. Noel leans in. Yes.
I think they're going to go to the big guy. I'm telling you something. He is not as bad as people say down in there.
Well, we get some good matchups. Noel and Plumlee.
You got a kid like that played high school last year. That's amazing.
May stand right with Curry.
You better get right in his face and make him drive. See, you play Curry, you got to make Curry beat you off the bounce.
Plumlee, line drive off the glass and good.
He's headed for a big-time year. He's a flat-out now PT peer. He's a prime-time performer.
8 points on the night for Mason Plumlee.
His brother's with the Indiana Pacers.
And Mason, of course, he could have gone pro, would have been a first-round pick, decided to come back for the senior season, wanted to end on a better note than the Blue Devils ended on last year.
You're exactly right, Dan. No doubt about it. He said really on a sour note after the way they finished last year.
The freshman Nerlens Noel answering the pleas of Dick Vitale as they get him the ball inside. And then the senior Mason Plumlee saying, hey, youngster, I got some game too. Got a good one going on between Kentucky and Duke.
And Hill will make the inbounds play. Bobby Hurley up the floor with Leitner. They throw it the left of the floor. Leitner catches, comes down, dribbles, shoots, scores! Christian Leitner has hit the bucket at the buzzer. The Blue Devils win it, 104-103. Look out, Minneapolis! Here come the Blue Devils.
Some say the greatest game of all time. Gene Wojciechowski, our guy, wrote a great book about that game. What a special shot.
And the man in question, Christian Leitner, is with our Andy Katz.
All right, thanks, Dan and Dick. Yes, Gene did write an exceptional book about that shot, about that game, about that era. So many years later, what do you remember most about that play?
The thing I remember most is how much I did not want to lose. When Sean Woods hit the shot to put them up, I mean, just the feeling in my stomach, just of utter agony. And that really carried over into the huddle. Coach gave us a great play, and we went out there and executed.
So much, obviously, is about the shot, but what was it about the pass that made it so effective?
Well, it was a perfect pass, and what people find out in that book that you're talking about is that Grant threw that pass about 2 or 3 weeks earlier against Wake Forest, and his ball kind of took me out of bounds, so we weren't able to get a shot up. So we went home and we practiced on that pass. He got better at it, and then it worked for us.
Duke against Kentucky, they've not played very often. What is it about these two programs and this rivalry that is so good for college basketball?
Well, I think it's for the ultimate bragging rights on the most historic program in the history of college basketball. I mean, both programs, such a history and such storied careers of just awesome basketball, great coaches, great players. So I think that's what it's about, Duke versus UK.
Dan, back to you. A little tiny bit of gray here on Christian Leitner, so it's been a while since that shot.
Well, it was a few years ago. You and I, we got nothing. We don't even have gray. What do you remember about that shot?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I was in a restaurant. I could not believe we were all standing around and just talked about, couldn't eat. I mean, it was unbelievable, mesmerized.
Sent Duke on to the Final Four, 104-103 on that shot by Leitner. Duke and Kentucky meeting here, first time since December 2001. Plumlee inside, nice patience, the reverse and the foul.
He's having his way down in the post. Post defense right now by the young Cats is just not there on a level to handle somebody like Plumlee. I think they're going to go after him in the post. Here it is, look at the post position right here. Tried to play him up on the top side. He gets good drop step.
Pretty good strength and body control, too, after getting fouled by Wilcher. 10 points already for Plumlee.
He made a wise decision coming back to school. I mean, he's willing those babies in. They don't look smooth, those 3 free throws, but they went all down.
53% last year from the line. Close at the point.
Yeah, getting some quality minutes. Trying to show some patience here.
Goodwin gets it back, defended by Suleiman.
See, Wilshire's got to step out and get some shots.
Goodwin, feathery touch.
He's a scorer, man. Yeah. He's a born scorer. No way in the world is he a point guard. He's a kid that's just born to score.
And again, they're hoping the situation with Harrell, whatever the illness is, the flu or whatever it turns out to be, is minor, and that he's back before long. We got a good one coming up in a couple of weeks. We're going to be up in South Bend, Big East SEC. We'll see Kentucky at Notre Dame on the 29th. More good basketball coming your way on ESPN with the Puerto Rico tip-off. Coverage begins Thursday at 10:30 in the morning Eastern Time on ESPNU. And among the teams you'll see, Mark Gottfried's Wolfpack. NC State taking on Penn State at 5 Eastern on ESPN2. It's been a while since the expectations were as high in Raleigh as they are this year.
Tell you what, they really have a legitimate team. They're going to be very tough to beat. They got a solid backcourt. I think their backcourt is as good as any backcourt in America.
Lorenzo Brown got C.J. Leslie up front, and Wood, a sharpshooter.
Yeah, and also what about the freshman?
Yep.
Got the great freshman as well.
A lot of excitement back in the NC State program, and Mays not connecting with Wiltshire.
Wilshire's got to get free. They got to lay some screens out there to get him a look. He's had only one look today to shoot a three, and he made it.
8 turnovers already committed by Kentucky. They're also not defending the glass very well yet. They've got a 1-point lead.
Tell you one thing, the 3 years that he's been there, look at Kelly shooting that three. The 3 years that Calipari's been at Kentucky, it's been amazing, the numbers. Think about this, though. 11 first-rounders and 4 second-rounders in 3 years.
Pick, how about this for Duke? 3 seniors, Plumlee, Curry, Kelly.
All the points.
All 25 points for Duke.
We expect that from your veterans.
Quick trigger in the corner, not there. For Mays, and back come the Blue Devils, looking to push. Cook. Nice look. Plumlee, the trailer. Yes!
Had a big time year, Dan. He is going to have a big time year. Mike Krzyzewski told me on the phone the other day. He said he has elevated his game. He now knows he's a star. Take a look right there, a little hook pass. Catches it. You said it early. He has the strength, even when he's bumped, to be able to convert.
Very athletic as well, playing with a lot of confidence and understanding the role that he's got on this team right now.
I'm going to be on Mike Krzyzewski's radio show tomorrow. Make sure you listen on the way back to Toronto.
Now, do you feel for Duke to be one of the best teams in the country that Plumlee has to be one of the best players in the country?
Oh, absolutely. But I think the supporting cast is going to have to elevate their game as well. The 3 seniors, I think, will make their contributions, but they're going to need consistency out of the young players.
A breather for Plumlee. Hairston back in. A 5-point lead for the Blue Devils. They're on a 12-4 run right now.
They're going to get Poitras involved a little bit.
There he is. Into traffic, has it rejected. A lot of one-on-one basketball right now for Kentucky.
Seems like Duke right now took a little bit more control of the tempo.
Kelly thought about it. Still plenty of time.
It's being played by Poitras.
Kelly, turnaround, in and out.
He wants to attack. When that ball's in his hands, he wants to attack.
And right now handling the ball. Polson is in the game, but playing off the ball on this possession. Poitras the handoff to Mays. Poitras fading away. Kelly with another block.
Twice now. He's had it rejected twice.
And Hairston is fouled and will shoot a pair.
Duke really putting some pressure, running the ball up the court.
Timeout on the floor. 3:55 to go in the first half. The Blue Devils on a run, led by their seniors. They have scored. The 3 seniors have scored every single one of Duke's points. And Ryan Kelly showing his stuff at the defensive end as well with another block shot. The Duke Blue Devils have been led by their seniors as they have taken over the lead, up 5 on Kentucky right now. Why are they getting such good looks, Dave?
Tell you one thing, it's senior night right now in November. We're going to take a look right here at some of the open looks. See right here, 3 guys are going to converge on the ball, and Plumlee's going to recognize that, and there's the little handoff to him, and he converts for the dunk. Now we're going to see them right here in transition. 2 guys are going to come here and play the ball. You can't do that because 2 on the ball leaves 1 open, and this guy can flat out shoot it. One of the premier shooters in America, Mr. Curry. It is senior night, Dan Schulman. Senior. Hey, congratulations, man, on a long-term contract.
Oh, thank
you deserve it.
Thank you.
I'm still waiting for my check because I'm the #1 PR
It's
guy.
in the mail. You are.
I keep
Thank you
waiting
for that,
for
too.
it.
Excited to be working with, because you say, you told me today you might work till you're 101 years old.
That's 28 years.
Yeah.
28 more years to go.
Yeah, when I'm as old as you are now, you'll be 101.
I'll be 101.
So that's what I signed up for, huh?
Yep. They got to find Wilcher, man. They got to make some screens. He's their guy that can shoot the basketball.
Here's Noel.
Not getting enough movement offensively. You got to have more motion. See too much standing around.
Left hand. Not a good shot for Noel. 10 to shoot. Still into the hands of the Wildcats. Poitras from the corner for 3.
I'll tell you one thing. With his athleticism, his ability to shoot the ball, he has scored them all over him, but he has to be more assertive, and he's got to develop that mental toughness.
At 8 points Friday night against Maryland. He's got 5 now in this game. Curry into a lot of traffic as it knocked out of bounds. John Calipari thinking it should be Kentucky ball, but it'll stay with Duke.
Hey, this guy works that sideline. You talk about animated, the job he did in Massachusetts. The one difference right now, the last 5 years, you think about his point guards from Derrick Rose to Evans. You think about Wall, Teague, Brandon Knight. They don't have that kind of point guard play.
Curry misses the 3. Now it's a transfer Ryan Harrow from NC State, who is the starter, and he's out of the game this time. He's got some great players coming in next year again, though. They just reload every year.
You better beat them now because next season they are going to be a bear. They're still in a hunt for Wiggins and Randall, even though I think Wiggins will end up at Florida State, where his daddy was a star in the corner of his games. Mitchell, mom was a great track performer for the Knowles.
He grew up right around the corner from me. Literally right around the corner from me.
Terrific.
Yeah. UPS halftime reports coming up in 2.5 minutes with Reese in the gang. A look back at game 1 between Kansas and Michigan State. A big win for Tom Izzo and the Spartans after losing Friday night in Germany.
I'll tell you already, we had so many upsets. Bucknell beats Purdue. South Alabama beats Florida State today. Virginia goes down. Florida Gulf Coast beats Miami.
Nerlens Noel at the line. One of the most highly recruited freshmen in the country. Misses the free throw, and we'll head back to the line. Got a violation on Duke, so this is the second time we've had that already in this game.
That's an area he's going to really have to work with. They're going to have to get him in the gym and constantly work with his free throw. The same with Willie Cauley-Stein. Those guys are going to go to the line. They limit their playing time late in the game if you can't make free throws.
Cauley-Stein has played sparingly here tonight. Has not been in the game much at all. And Kentucky's only used 7 players. They're not a very deep team right now. But Cauley-Stein was in and made a mistake. John Calipari took him right back out again.
Hey, there he is with 2. Gets an opportunity. Late violation, puts 2 points on the board. Those are no-nos. You can't do those things against good teams.
1-point game. And a Duke turnover.
Sloppy right there. Good defensive play by Kentucky. Doing a better job rebounding. Maryland really took advantage of them on the glass because they were trying to block every shot, leaving lanes open to go to the basket and get offensive rebounds.
Mike Krzyzewski will make a change. He'll bring Jefferson in. So both Kelly and Plumlee are on the bench right now for Duke. Now both of them have 2 fouls, just 2 minutes and change left in the first half. Coach K not wanting either one of them to pick up a third.
Tell you one thing, he's got a great shooter coming in next year by the name of Matt Jones. Flat out can shoot the ball from DeSoto, Texas. Duke and Kentucky's got the Harrison twins. all I can say is ouch for opponents trying to defend that.
Noel draws the foul and will head right back to the free throw line. John Calipari clapping on that Kentucky bench, likes what he sees.
Well, I think he's going to like the fact that Noel's showing a little bit of offensive assertiveness, running the ball down in the post.
And every time Noel does something, John Calipari goes over and talks to Cauley Stein. He's doing a little teaching while he's doing some coaching.
I love his hairdo, man. I love that flat top of Noel. I just wish I could have any kind of top. So do you.
And you like how he's got UK shaved into the back of his head? Wow. He'll take it. And now with Duke going back on offense, Plumlee and Kelly will both come back into the game.
I was down in Lexington, man. I took a tour of their facilities. You where the players live. Everything is geared 7-footers. The sinks, the beds, it's unbelievable. And you have to have one more player, one more normal student, just the athletes in that place. So you make sure managers, they're the players' friends. I'm only teasing you.
Tied at 29, inside 2 minutes to go in the first half. Off-balance shot by Quinn Cook.
Playing a little rush right there, Quinn Cook. You know, had the knee problem last year. He's healthy this year.
There's a 2-point advantage for the Blue Devils. Polson getting a lot of minutes again for Kentucky. Noel couldn't handle it. Mays has it.
I think one thing, Kelly's doing a good job defensively on Wiltshire. Not allowing Wiltshire to get any looks at all.
Another strip.
Nice pass. Nice pass.
How about the speed going down the court for Suleiman and Cook?
Suleiman is a legitimate player. He's a player. He's the kind of guy who maybe will not put a lot of points on the board, but he'll defend. He'll pass the basketball.
6'4" freshman out of Houston.
He's a winner.
Mays in and out. Poitras in.
Is he a man? Is he a child? Somebody better tell that guy how good he can be. He can be a special player.
And a timeout taken by Duke after that resounding dunk by Alex Poitras.
That's Major League, man. That's Major League. That's a man. That's a man. I cannot believe he played in the Scholastic ranks last year.
Clarksville, Tennessee, 6'7", 239 for the freshman. Again, Kentucky back within 2.
You know, Kentucky set an NCAA record last year, winning 38 games. Topped our own Jay Billis's team at 86 that won 37.
John Calipari has not lost at home as head coach at Kentucky. Has had an Elite Eight, a Final Four, a national championship, and has had 15 players drafted into the NBA in his 3 years.
That is incredible when you think. I mean, most coaches, you would die to get one NBA first-round player. 11 in 3 years, and that beat's going to go on because there's a few more first-rounders on the floor.
The seniors of Duke against the freshmen of Kentucky, and the numbers remarkably equal. And this is the way it's going to be. It's a very young Kentucky team. You made a great point. Last year, they had Lamb, they had Miller, they had Jones, they had guys with some experience. They have hardly any this year.
You know, Wiltshire really had very limited playing time.
He was their 7th man last year, didn't start a single game.
And the time he got really, Dan, were in blowouts. He didn't really get a lot of quality time.
Inside the final minute of the first half, and it's an offensive foul on Poitras.
Very obvious. Got 3 good guys blowing a whistle here tonight. Think about Green, Eads, and Ayers.
That's his first, team's 10th.
First on Poitras, and now the shot clock is turned off. So Duke's got the ball, the lead, and a chance to hold for one final look.
You know, very simple. You would think, obviously, the edge this time of the year in November has to go to talented seniors versus talented freshmen.
3 seniors, Plumlee, Kelly, Curry, all in the game right now for the Blue Devils.
You don't want to give a silly foul right here. Mike Krzyzewski had the gold medal this year, coaching that unbelievable LeBron James and company.
Cook, nice look, Suleiman. Kelly, and it won't go down for him as the first half comes to a close.
Both teams struggle a little bit on the offensive end. Good defensive efforts by both clubs.
And a 2-point game of the half. Duke seniors scoring almost all of their points in the first half as the Blue Devils hold a 33-31 lead over Kentucky at halftime here at Game 2 of the State Farm Champions Classic. On the court, our Andy Katz is with John Calipari.
All right, thanks, Dan. John, how do you tighten up your defense, especially in the interior, to stop that dribble penetration?
Well, the post defense is hurting us, and then some threes. But for us to be in this situation, I'm going to be honest, I'm happy.
Why?
Got a little bit of foul trouble, not much. They're flopping all over the place. In the NBA, they'd all be suspended. So we got to get to where we're getting the ball by guys and knowing that they're going to try to take charges. There's about 5 turnovers right there.
All right, thanks. He's still smiling, guys.
He's always smiling. 2-point game, and he likes where they are right now, given the way that some of the things went in the first half. Should be a great second half here with the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, but first time for the UPS halftime report with Reese in the game.
All right, Dan, Alex Poythress. He had some man-sized flushes in the first half. Jalen Digger and Jay are here. We'll look ahead to the second half, see what adjustments both teams will make. Coming up in just a few minutes, also a great first game between Michigan State and Kansas.
Welcome back to the State Farm Champions Classic, game number 2 here in Atlanta. Number 9 Duke, number 3 Kentucky, and a good one, a 2-point lead for the Blue Devils going to the second half. We saw Michigan State beat Kansas in a close game in game 1. Got a close game again here in game 2, and no surprise.